Okay, so this is what Amazon looks like if you go to Amazon.com. I'm pretty sure you guys have all seen this. So we're going to pick a product, an example product here, and let's just say we're going to look into um, Pellegrino sparkling water. I picked this example because everybody freaking knows what this water is, and it's actually one of my favorite waters to drink. But if we just go here, just as if you were going to be a consumer and you're going to go buy this product, right? If we click on this here, it's going to give us basic information, okay? And so normally, if you don't have any softwares installed on your computer, you're going to see this, right? It's just going to tell you it's selling at 12:48 right now, and this is what the delivery time is for me. Super basic, right? But there's going to be an extension that's called Keepa. I'll put it in the description for you guys. But basically, this description, and I'll go over what it is first before how to install it and all that other stuff. But basically, let me go ahead and make this screen smaller for you guys. So basically, this is what it's going to look like. It looks like a giant, big, scary, weird graph here, but it's really not that complicated. And I'm going to show you guys how to interpret this really quickly because you don't need to go to some 3-hour seminar to learn how to do this. There's some really, really basic stuff that's going on here. So the two most important things that you're going to want to look for on Amazon when you're looking at this graph is the sales rank and the buy box. Okay, amongst other things we'll get into later, but those are the two most important things you want to look at because the sales rank tells you how popular this item is and how quickly it's going to be moving relative to the sales rank. So for example, if the sales rank is very high in number, right, that means that it's taking a long time to sell. Less of it is moving off the shelves on a monthly basis. If the sales rank is a lower number, that means that it is moving at a higher rate and selling faster, right? So ideally, we want to see products that are closer to 0 in sales rank because that tells us that they're selling very, very frequently. Okay. And so here we can see that this is, 25,000. It's hovering between a 40,000 and looks like maybe 20,000 sales rank for the earlier part of the year. And now it's like in the 400s, right? And so what that tells us is, well, you might ask, well, what's a good sales rank, right? How do I know what the threshold is? So typically you want products that are going to be below 20,000 BSR, which is bestseller rank or seller rank for short. And so not every product might land in that, right? But we'll talk into when to make those exceptions. But in this case, we see that it has a very, very high sales rank. And even right now, it's damn near it's like almost lower than 100. So this thing is flying off the shelves. And we'll look at other data that shows us that. The second thing we want to look at is something called the buy box. Now, this is something you might hear a lot, but it simply means this on the screen is what the buy box is, okay? It's just a box on the screen here that Amazon is basically promoting a seller specifically for this item. And so if we look here, it says ships from Amazon.com, sold by Amazon.com, okay? So all this means is where it says ships from Amazon.com, this means that this is shipping from an Amazon facility, okay? This means that out of the thousands of facilities that Amazon has across the United States, this item is coming from an Amazon facility. It's not coming from like a third-party seller or someone's house or maybe even someone's private warehouse, right? This product is coming directly from Amazon's facility and it's fulfilled by Amazon, okay? So this is what that Prime status here shows us, this little blue thing. When you order Amazon Prime, it's fulfilled by Amazon. So the order is being fulfilled by Amazon's warehouse, okay? The second thing is it's going to tell you is it's sold by Amazon.com, okay? So this means that whatever the person that is selling this item, it tells us what their store name is here. Everybody has a store name when they create an Amazon account. And so this case, we know that it's coming from Amazon. So this tells us it's being fulfilled FBA, right? And the sold by tells us by which seller in that warehouse that product belongs to, okay? Right now, Amazon themselves are selling this product and they're in the buy box. This means that they are the ones that they're basically promoting themselves, right? But they're not always going to be in here, okay? So Amazon shares the buy box with other sellers who are using their facilities. So when you buy from Amazon, and even though it ships from Amazon.com, as we see here, it doesn't mean that you're buying directly from Amazon's inventory, right? You could be buying from somebody who sent their inventory into Amazon, right? And so the whole point of FBA is you're buying that product and you're sending it into Amazon's facilities, and you're using all of their infrastructure to get that product sold. So in some cases, this will change to somebody else. Who else do we know is selling this? Well, if we go down here, we can see the other sellers here. These are other people who are selling the product. But I really only care about the people who are selling this prime because they're going to be the real competition that I have. Okay. So I want to look at this product that's selling in new condition, obviously, and I want to compete against the other prime sellers. So when I look here, I see that Amazon Fresh is selling this, and I see that Bristol Farms is selling this, right? Bristol Farms is a giant grocery company, right? And so this just simply means that this company, this store name, has inventory that is inside of Amazon's facility. And so sometimes we will see Bristol Farms in this little section right here. So the whole point of me explaining this is that sometimes the buy box is shared in between other sellers, okay? And so the buy box price is going to be what you sell that item at. And so whoever is in this little area right here, when somebody hits add to cart, that person is going to get the sale. And the reason that's important is because I need to know what the history of that buy box price is. And I need to know how many other people I'm competing with to get that buy box. And I need to know how frequently that buy box fluctuates and change, how often Amazon is sharing it, right? Because I don't want to get into a product where Amazon hoards the buy box for themselves forever. And, I'm never going to be able to get the spotlight to sell this item. The reason it's important is because almost 80 to 90% of sales on Amazon come from a buy box, meaning the people that are in here get 80% of the sales of that listing. And so that's why it's important to be able to look at data to tell us how quickly and how much this product is being shared between other sellers. The less sellers you have, the less you're competing for it and the more sales you're going to get and the quicker you're going to get rid of your product, obviously. So I know that Amazon has buy box here. So the second thing I want to look at is the stability of this buy box price. And what I mean by that is if we take a look at this graph here, we can see that pretty much the buy box, and I'm going to hide this section here. I'm pretty sure the buy box, if you look here, has been consistent at this price for a long time. I mean, just over a year now, it's been selling at $12.48. It dipped down here to $10.60 for maybe a month or something, probably a little bit less than that, and then it's right back up here. So this means that the price isn't going crazy up and down all the time. And the reason why I want to know that is because before I invest into a product, I want to make sure that I'm not buying a product that I don't even know what I'm going to make on it. Maybe I might make a ton of margin on it, or maybe I might lose margin on it, right? So the more stable I can find a price, I can look at where the median of that price is. So if this price is $12.48 and it looks like it's damn near $12.48 for an entire year, it has a really, really good price stability to it. So I know that if I buy this product, by the time I get it from my supplier to my warehouse and sent in directly to Amazon, it's probably going to be the same price. And my calculations that I did to make sure I was profitable on this item are going to be probably pretty spot on because the price didn't move much. Now, if I pick an item that is moving up and down all over the place crazy, then I don't know where I might land in that buy box price. And so that might affect my profitability and it might make me lose money because I'm not going to have a stable price. It's just like stocks or anything else, right? If it's very volatile, sure, you could have crazy wins, but it's going to be inconsistent. And we don't want to build your business off of pricing and inventory that's inconsistent. Okay. So buy box, super important. I want to make sure that it's a stable buy box. And I also want to make sure that I have a good sales rank. Okay. There's a couple other things that Keepa is going to show us here as well to briefly go over. And the next thing I'm going to do is click on this data tab. And this is going to show me some other things that I want to know. And specifically, how many units this damn thing is moving per month, right? If I know that it's moving a lot of units, it gives me an insight into how much I can buy of this product and get away with. And it tells me how quickly I'm going to be moving this product, right? So over here, it tells us that this particular product sold 40,000 plus units in this past month, right? So that is a lot of this product being sold. So what that tells me is that if I bought 40,000 units, just for example, right, I would sell that in about a month's time. Now, if I bought 1,000 units, that means that I would be selling this thing hundreds of times a day, right? Maybe even more. So the point is that I want to be able to look at this to know what I can actually get away with buying. If I'm competing with two other people and I buy, a certain amount of units, this is so many units that it doesn't even matter how many I buy. I mean, unless I buy more than 40,000 units, then I'll be okay, right? But it might not always be like that, right? Like some items might not even sell 1,000 units a month. Some items might only sell 100 units a month, right? And the reason that's important is because if I know that an item is selling 100 units a month and I see another competitor on the listing, usually Amazon is going to share the buy box with us two sellers. And so we're probably going to be making 50% of the sales. And so if it's moving 100 units a month and I'm competing with somebody else, I'm probably going to get around 50 sales a month for that item, right? Now, I know that if I buy 200 units, it's probably going to take me a long time to sell it, probably several months. So I want to go ahead and make sure I know how many units it's selling on average so that I don't overbuy and get stuck with product for months at a time that I didn't plan to, which is also why your competitors are important, right? If you are competing against 10 sellers and this product only sells 100 units a month or 50 units a month, and I buy 50 units or 100 units, I'm only going to be getting 10 sales a month, maybe, right? If I just divide that by the amount of other sellers that are on the listing. And so that would be a bad buy, right? So this is why knowing the volume of sellers is super important. So I didn't want to get too bogged down in this video, guys. I'll be doing some other ones explaining, how to install Keepa, how to, look at more examples. Specifically, you guys can tell me kind of what you guys want in the comment section, or you can reach out to me directly. But basically, all we want to know is this item flying off the shelves and how often it's flying off the shelves? We can get into pricing and profitability later, but we have to be able to know that, one, that it's a stable product to buy or to get it as closely to a stable price that we can, to know that we're not going to be getting ourselves into a risky, volatile product. But those are the most important things when you're looking at a product in the beginning to sell. When you're getting into Amazon FBA specifically, is we want to know that you can buy a product at a safe price and that by the time it's going to get into Amazon's facility, you're selling the damn thing for what you plan to sell it at, right? And the second thing is obviously, you want to make sure that you are pushing enough units a month so that you don't overbuy or potentially underbuy and leave money on the table. So with that being said, I hope that really gives you guys some insight in the beginning. I'll be making more of these, but I just wanted to give you guys some of the basics of really how easy it is in the beginning to just look at a product and be able to say whether this is something that is worth buying or not. So hopefully that was super helpful. If you guys want other content, just let me know what that is. And hopefully we can grow this channel into something that will really be helpful to as many people that are willing to watch and pay attention.